Deep in the mountains of Colombia lies a treasure worth billions. Emeralds so rare and valuable, they've sparked decades of violence, corruption, and greed. But who really controls this $150 million industry? And what does it take to survive in the fight for these precious green stones? Today, we uncover the dark truth behind Colombia's emerald trade. Colombia is known for many things: its vibrant culture, stunning landscapes, and, of course, its world-famous emeralds. In fact, Colombia produces over 70% of the world's emeralds, making it the global epicenter of this lucrative industry. But behind the glittering gems lies a story of power struggles, bloodshed, and survival. For decades, the emerald trade has been controlled by a handful of powerful families, warlords, and criminal organizations. These groups have fought tooth and nail to dominate the mines, often at the cost of human lives. But why are these green stones so valuable? And what drives people to risk everything for them? In this video, we'll explore the history of Colombia's emerald industry, the key players involved, and the ongoing battle for control. This isn't just a story about gems, it's a story about power, greed, and the human cost of wealth. To understand the fight for Colombia's emeralds, we need to go back to the 1960s and 70s, a period known as the Green Wars. During this time, rival factions battled for control of the mines in the Bogotá region, where some of the world's finest emeralds are found. These wars weren't just about money, they were about power. The mines became a battleground for drug cartels, paramilitary groups, and local warlords. One of the most infamous figures was Victor Carranza, known as the Emerald Czar. Carranza controlled a significant portion of the industry and was accused of orchestrating violence to maintain his dominance. But the violence didn't stop with the Green Wars. Even today, the emerald trade is plagued by illegal mining, corruption, and exploitation. Miners, often working in dangerous conditions, risk their lives for a chance to strike it rich. Meanwhile, powerful players continue to manipulate the industry, leaving little room for small-scale miners to thrive. The question is, why is this industry so chaotic? The answer lies in the value of the stones themselves. Colombian emeralds are considered the finest in the world, with some fetching millions of dollars at auction. But with such high stakes, the fight for control is inevitable. Let's take a closer look at how the emerald industry operates. The process begins in the mines, where workers dig deep into the earth in search of the precious stones. These miners often work in perilous conditions, with little to no safety equipment. For many, it's a gamble: they could strike it rich, or they could spend years toiling for nothing. Once the emeralds are extracted, they're sold to middlemen, who then sell them to international buyers. But here's where things get murky. The industry is rife with smuggling and illegal trade. Many emeralds are sold on the black market, bypassing taxes and regulations. This not only deprives the Colombian government of revenue but also fuels further corruption and violence. In recent years, there have been efforts to formalize the industry. The government has introduced regulations to combat illegal mining and ensure fair wages for workers. But progress has been slow. Powerful players, who have benefited from the chaos, are resistant to change. And then there's the environmental cost. Emerald mining has devastated large areas of Colombia's landscape, polluting rivers and destroying ecosystems. The industry's impact on the environment is a growing concern, but with so much money at stake, it's often overlooked. One of the most shocking aspects of Colombia's emerald industry is the human cost. For every emerald that makes its way to a luxury jewelry store, there's a story of struggle and sacrifice. Take the case of Maria, a single mother who works in the mines. Maria spends 12 hours a day digging for emeralds, often risking her life in unstable tunnels. She earns just enough to feed her family, but the toll on her health is immense. Maria's story is not unique. Thousands of miners face the same harsh reality. And then there are the victims of the violence. During the Green Wars, entire communities were torn apart by the fighting. Families were displaced, and countless lives were lost. Even today, the threat of violence looms large over the industry. But amidst the chaos, there's hope. Organizations and activists are working to bring transparency and fairness to the emerald trade. They're fighting for better working conditions, environmental protection, and a more equitable distribution of wealth. The question is, Will their efforts be enough to change an industry built on exploitation? So, what have we learned today? Colombia's emerald industry is a complex web of wealth, power, and violence. It's an industry that has brought both prosperity and suffering to the country. While the emeralds themselves are undeniably beautiful, the story behind them is far from glamorous. From the miners risking their lives to the powerful players manipulating the trade, the fight for Colombia's emeralds is a stark reminder of the human cost of wealth. The change is possible. With greater transparency, regulation, and accountability, the industry could become a source of sustainable growth for Colombia. The question is, are we willing to demand that change? If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into global industries and their hidden stories. And hey, drop a comment below. What do you think should be done to reform Colombia's emerald industry? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Acá no hemos conseguido nada bueno, nada. Entonces por eso tú siempre vas a ver que en mi casa hay muchas hierbas, así como las piedras, las gemas, cada una tiene una propiedad. Entonces la esmeralda en general es una piedra de poder. Es una piedra que da temperamento, que da fuerza, que da salud. La esmeralda, por ser relacionada con el color verde, es el color de la salud, de la abundancia, de la prosperidad. O sea, yo sentirme orgullosa de decir soy de Muso, por lo que realmente somos, que somos personas guaqueras, y el nombre y el término guaquero para nosotros es un orgullo. Quiero que las personas vengan y conozcan lo que realmente somos, los trabajadores que somos.